In August, NAB contributed to a $1 billion loan to Santos, which was related to the Barossa gas project. This was after a case had been filed in the federal court in June over concern the Tiwi Islands traditional owners had not been properly consulted. In September, the federal court ruled in favour of the Tiwi Islands traditional owners, halting the Barossa gas project. At the start of this month, the full federal court slapped down an appeal by Santos and upheld the original decision. Following that decision, a representative of the Manupi clan of the Tiwi Islands said they will continue to fight the project. Did NAB conduct the due diligence required by our human rights policy when considering the August loan to Santos?
So the answer, unfortunately, you said you weren't going to ask a question about a specific client, and now you've asked a question about a specific client. So it is incredibly difficult to answer that question, Mr. Vincent, I'm sorry.
Why? Why can't you answer whether your policy was followed?
I can't tell you about Santos's business here. I'm not going to talk about Santos.
You can tell us whether your policy was followed or not.
I can tell you that our policy was followed, but I can't tell you anything about Santos. I can tell you our policies are followed generally.
So the policy was followed and NAB still participated in a loan that was contested over a human rights issue in the federal court?
We have policies that fall over and get contested all the time. So frankly, I'm not quite sure what the point of the question is.
Okay, listen then, Santos and its project partners need the Darwin LNG extension to facilitate this field development, which has not gone ahead. Will NAB commit to not financing at least the Darwin LNG extension project in light of the human rights issues related to the Barossa gas to Darwin LNG project?
No, our review of that transaction will be in accordance with our climate policy, which has been set out, and our human rights policy remains intact. We will follow our human rights policy. Just for the benefit of other shareholders in the room, one of the issues that has arisen in a number of projects, both here in Australia and overseas, is that when people are consulted to ensure that there is free, prior and informed consent from traditional landholders, there are often disagreements among landholders, and therefore you have issues like the Tiwi Islanders where they are contested, and sometimes the courts take a different view, in which case we react to that. So we will follow our policy, and sometimes we will get it wrong.
But you were aware of the court case that was in progress.
But it hadn't been won.
In June.
Yeah, but it hadn't been won.
But you could at least hold off on making a transaction decision, a financing decision, until the outcome of that case, surely.
I'm sure the business people will be thinking about that.
Well, why weren't you thinking about it?
Oh, I have. Thank you. All right.